Yes, it is. What a compliment to Chennai. The most important game of the tournament being presented to them to stage it, and I'm sure the crowd will enjoy it.
First ball of the game, and Pakistan are away. First run always important. So Venkatesh Prasad opening the bowling for India. Saeed Anwar, obviously the left-hander, very experienced player and a very successful player in his 121 one-day internationals, a higher score of 131, 17 50s and 11 hundreds.
A very gifted player.
On line again, but just a bit too high. That won't stop the crowd from appealing. They go through for the single. That'll be a leg bye. Senior member of this bowling attack, but as he said, more prone to be hit about.
And that is a good shot by Saeed. He kept the ball on the ground, although it wasn't right up to him. He played it on the up, and a little bit of mix-up there by these two batsmen. And it's just nerves, nothing else, because they do realize that it's important that they stay on the wicket. And what a difference it makes when you get a wicket earlier on.
An experienced bowler, but he's done a very good job for India in recent times. On line again, the ball's in the air, but it's cleared mid-on. Again, they're racing away to the boundary. They only have to beat the infield on these grounds, and the ball fairly races away.
Well, as we are saying, when Afridi is no more in the centre, Ramesh Raja is the one who's going to take the one and give Saeed Anwar as much strike as possible. And Saeed, without being a pinch hitter, he doesn't need to, he doesn't have to, because he's such a good striker of the ball, and he is a tremendous batsman, there's no doubt about it. And he is now taking over the role of making use of those first 15 overs when the field is restricted. And as we all know, he is a very good striker of the ball, and Pakistan will rely on him now that they have lost Shahid Afridi.
Slashes through the offside, too much width. Prasad under pressure. There's already been some field changes forced upon him. 19 for 1. Well, again, the flashing blade, that's gone all the way. Timing and placement, unbelievable hit. So Prasad is under pressure.
That was a remarkable shot, and it went very high, but it also went very far. That was on the leg stump, something which I'm sure Sachin has asked him not to do. That ball wasn't really right up to him. It wasn't really a half volley sort of delivery, but Saeed Anwar was such a great timer of the ball. The ball going very
through and get one of these wickets to have a new batsman coming, then it can help them put pressure onto Pakistan. But at the present moment, Pakistan has got a tremendous amount of pressure on the Indian team, and their bowlers will have to be very accurate. Kumble is certainly a very, very good bowler. He'll be hoping to drop the line right away and make sure that he doesn't give these batsmen too much whiff or too many half volleys, because they're well set and they'll be looking to take advantage of any loose deliveries.
So Kumble it is now to Saeed Anwar, and that's smashed straight down the ground for a boundary. Oh, just going over the rope. He didn't really time it well, but got enough bat on that for the ball to reach the fence. Straight away putting pressure on Anil Kumble.
Saeed Anwar was straight a very quick pounce on that half volley, taking full advantage, and this is what happens when batsmen are in. And that's why these two batsmen should stay there and try and see Pakistan through.
And swept this one, but Ganguly is out there in the deep. Easy to concentrate.
Much better line and length by Kumble. A little bit of turn and bounce there. He didn't want bouncing and just coming back in, thick bottom edge. Very fortunate, didn't play it on to the stumps.
And he goes over the top, and very clean. One bounce over the ropes. Another boundary here for Anwar. Has taken off like a train here. 39 in just 35 deliveries. Ramesh Raja 10, giving him good company. And Anwar goes here over the top. Again, lovely piece of timing. One bounce over square leg for 4.
Certainly a lovely shot. certainly wasn't a bad delivery. That the batsmen are in, their eyes are in, they got the bounce of the ball, the length, and Anwar was able to pick that up quite early and go with the movement of the ball. A lovely shot.
Coming down the wickets and hammering it through, and a really good save there.
That is brilliant cricket. It was a good ball and he jumped out to play it and drove it towards the wicket. Nice bit of dive by Jadeja.
Charging and hitting over the top. Yes, he's got it over mid-on. 2 bounces for 4. There's a man out there at the deep, wide, long on, but couldn't get across to it. And a 50 for Saeed Anwar from just 44 balls. So he's taken over the mantle from Afridi magnificently here this afternoon. Coming again and going over the top. He's trying to hit it over the deep fielder into the stand, and he does so. So there's confidence for you. He's really taking the initiative here to Joshi.
Not bad tactics to get on top of the bowler in his first over, and Saeed Anwar is a good enough player to do so, and that's how Joshi went into the stands. It wasn't a bad ball, but Anwar picked it well and early, and he's a sweet timer of the ball as we see it. And the moment he hit it, look at his eyes following the ball. He's very satisfied with the stroke.
Yes, I think there's a certain amount of admiration in his eyes there. He knew once he played the shot that it was going to go all the way. But he is tackling a boundary fielder who's a little wider out there than where those balls are going. So an expensive first over here. Quicker and flatter, but charging Saeed Anwar. Can't get the single. Final ball of the over. 81 for 1. World Tel linking in with Doordarshan. Charging and going for the big one. It's a miscue, but it'll be good enough nevertheless. He did get hold of it, tried to hit it into the stand, but the full flow of the bat took it through to the fence.
4 more to Saeed Anwar and 4 more to Pakistan. It was a flattish trajectory, but Saeed Anwar was quick to pick it up early, and he found a gap between mid-wicket and mid-on. There wasn't enough turn in the ball, but Saeed Anwar is batting well. He really settled down. Wait!
87-4.
Giving the ball a bit of air.
All the runs are flowing, but at the same time the boundaries have dried, and I think that's one thing which Sachin will be quite pleased about, because Saeed Anwar was scoring lots of boundaries and getting over 6 and over. And interestingly, Robin Singh, since he has come on to bowl, he hasn't really charged in like we have seen him doing in West Indies, and instead there's Saeed Anwar beating the inside field. And what timing that was, brilliant timing. Once that ball beat the inside field, that went past the boundary line. 4 runs to Saeed Anwar, brilliantly placed.
And that was just stroked. He didn't even try and hit it too hard. Just a tap there. And it also beat the man at third man. That's his strength. Beautiful timer of the ball, Saeed Anwar.
And in the process he has scored his highest against India. He had scored 80 at Toronto against India, and this is his highest score.
Still has a very good average for one-day cricket against the Indians. 45.46. It's 124 for 2. Robin Singh here continuing. Again, beautifully timed by Anwar. A long chase here for the man, a deep point, but that's the chase and win. He's really teasing the fielders here, Saeed Anwar, making them run all the way.
and then just beating him in the end. There it is. He's just angling the bat. Perfect timing, and by angling that bat, he's making sure that he beats the inside field. And there the ball, just beating Anil Kumble. Desperate dive there, but the ball beating. 4 more runs to Saeed Anwar.
One of the features of Anwar's batting is that he knows the spots he's looking to get runs from. Picks the areas in the field where he would want to hit the ball. So far in this innings, he's done that very effectively. He's found the gaps. He's raced away to 86 not out in just 72 balls. In sight of his first 100 against the Indians.
And I'm sure that he would very much want that, not just for himself but for the team as well.
And we'll have to wait and see if this has come off the bat. This is another boundary for Pakistan. Yes, a boundary signal.
Yes, it did. In fact, that's what Saeed is telling Ijaz, not realizing that the umpire has already signaled 4 for him. And 8 of this over so far. And there we'll see. Just getting back to it, picking 4 more runs. And this knowledgeable crowd in Madras and Chennai anticipating his century, cheering him up.
So 2 short of his 100 here, Saeed Anwar. 98 he is. He'll still be on 98. This will be his first 100 against the Indians. This knock of his has really taken the fight to the opposition. Get only a single here. And he'll get the strike too. 142 for 2. Strike here to Robin Singh. And that should be it. His 12th 100 in one-day international cricket. His first against the Indians. And it's been a superb knock by this flamboyant left-hander from Pakistan.
And that was a brilliant knock. And how nice to see not only his teammates cheering from the dressing room, but also the huge crowd here. They are celebrating his 100. And by doing that, obviously Saeed Anwar must be pleased. But what is important from Pakistan's point of view, that he has to...
Stretching a bit there, Kuruvilla. He might get a ball too. Very good first spell, 6 overs for 18 runs. Again, the Pakistan batsman will look for 2, but in the end just settle for 1. It's 150 for 2. In a very good position here, 150 for 2. Runs coming in just 168 balls. There's going to be a change in the commentary box. It'll be Greg Chappell and with him Bishan Bedi.
Thank you, Rabi. We're coming down to the business end of the innings now. Pakistan have set a good foundation. It's amazing how often that can all fall apart if you lose a few quick wickets in these later middle overs. Trying to force the pace in the later overs as Robin Singh comes back to his mark to continue his spell. Anwar slashing again. He really has struck the ball beautifully in this innings. Pakistan will need him to stay there a little bit longer. Whilst they've got some good batting depth, I think they're going to need a score of around about 290 to 300 Bish before they can feel comfortable. Pushing the ball around, pushing it into the gaps, giving Anwar as much strike as he can. Robin Singh continues in the air and over mid-off. A couple of bounces into the boundary. That's pretty tough work for the bowlers.
He timed it nicely and placed it where he wanted to, over the top of mid-off. And even though he played far away from the body, he can afford to do so because he's been in long enough and he's had a fairly good look at the Indian bowling.
Hot work, as you can see. Much a bowler can do but try and get the ball in line with the stumps and the hope that anything that the batsman misses is going to hit the stumps. If you're not going to be hitting the stumps, then it's virtually a free hit.
Ball flat, as Joshi is trying to do right now.
And again gives it the full flow of the bat as he's so wont to do, and he's done so well today.
It was a bad ball, pitched on the leg stump. and Anwar did well to keep it down. And along the ground, fetching him 4 more runs. You're bowling to a man well set. You got to bowl well. And look where the ball is pitched. Anwar had all the time in the world to go for the sweep to perfection.
Well, again, it's a free hit. If the ball's not going to be hitting the stumps, Josie pulling it down, pitching just outside leg stump, short and too wide. Really hard for the captain. You can't set a field to bad bowling.
No, you can't. That's something which I've always maintained. You've got to bowl well. And if you're bowling like that, the captain's going to think twice before he can bring you on again.
This time takes it from outside off stump. Can't pierce the outfield. 2 fielders on the boundary from mid-wicket and backward square leg. Again, Joshi giving the free hit really outside the line of the stumps. The ball was never ever in danger of hitting the stumps, so Anwar knows that he's got a free hit. The highest score by a Pakistan batsman against India. That'll just about do it. That'll take him to 121. It goes past the highest score formerly held by Javed Miandad of 119, scored at Lahore in 82-83. And really, the Indian bowlers are copping some stick here now.
I don't think they're really bowling to the field, and this particular delivery, the way it raced to the boundary, it deserved it. It had 4 runs written all over it.
Robin Singh got to get the ball in line with the stumps. It sounds as though he got that in the middle of the bat.
Not a mean achievement to get past Javed Miandad's record. Javed was a tremendous player of all kinds of cricket, and Saeed Anwar has done it. He's still there and really concentrating very hard.
This time, a bit of improvisation from Anwar. Works the ball from outside off stump. They're coming back for 2. Ganguly is a good throw, but you can't run them out from that distance once they've already started.
Played off his legs, and if you see the runner for Saeed Anwar, he's not really running a straight line, and I don't think anybody's ever told him that a straight line is the shortest distance.
Well, I suppose you've got to do what you've got to do when you're out there. Saeed Anwar doesn't have to worry about running too much. He's hit 15 fours in his innings so far. Not only hasn't he had to do a lot of running because he's hit some boundaries, he's also hit a couple of sixes, and he's got a runner out there working for him at the moment. Again, they'll be looking for 2 here. Not well struck, but just in that distance where the outfielder can't cut it down and the infielder can't catch up with it. So things working very well for Pakistan at the moment. The run rate is very good. 2 wickets down, so wickets in hand. Some good strong batting still to come in the lineup. Anything's possible here. 5.66.
Yes, this run rate can't go any worse. It has to improve.
India really needs some wickets. It's the only way they're going to be able to restrict the Indian total from here on in. Maybe it's the moon coming up, Bish. I think the players will be happy the sun's going down, and there's 4 more.
Well, either way, whether the sun going down or the moon coming up, the fact remains that the ball is not running for the Indians as we see it. 4 more runs, and that is how Joshi went for a good lap down the square leg. Skidded attempt by Rahul Dravid wasn't enough.
The bowling for India has been ordinary. The batting's going to have to be a lot better. So they're going to be chasing a total of in the vicinity of 300 the way things are going. Anwar on 130. Takes him to 131. That equals his career best, which was against the West Indies at Sharjah, and
At the moment is he's not able to control the singles or the fours.
Ahmed. Anwar is back. Score at 196 for 2. He's on 132. Highest score for Pakistan in one day as is 137, not out by Inzamam Al-Haq versus New Zealand in Sharjah in 93-94. Looking for the boundary again, but straight to the mid-wicket fielder.
Or to lose another quick wicket to bring 2 new batsmen in at this stage.
Might have just edged it, but it was so wide, almost could have been called one. He tried hard to get it. Still, he got it. This time he puts it over mid-wicket. That's where he was looking to find the gap, and he's done so for 4. Tried off the first ball of the over. This time he does connect. Away for another boundary.
Well, they say if you swing often enough, sometimes you connect, as he did here. Swinging across, but this time with a straighter back and picked it up into the open gap. But to bring 2 new batsmen in now will certainly give India a chance to get back on top. And I think that Pakistan should be looking to score at least somewhere in the region of 280 to 300 runs. Otherwise, they certainly would have done justice to this spot. And Inzamam Al-Haq is certainly a good hitter of the ball, but he has to play himself in first.
That's a fine shot, a good half save. We'll save 3 runs, they just get 1. So Dravid getting... It's hard to be critical of Saeed Anwar. Go my way, we'll get it an even bigger total. And he's hit it strongly down the ground, long on able to come across and prevent the boundary, coming back for the second so that he can maintain the strike. But that's the difference between doing very, very well and doing remarkably well. He could go on here, he could really get a big one. Almost 10 overs remaining.
Good stop. Again, straight drive, hit it very well. Kumble got done very late through his hands.
Swing and a miss. Wide call. He's certainly trying to get after it, so there's no question about the fact that he was trying.
Again, having another swing outside the off stump. Not even near to the pitch of the ball. So far away from it is...
Well, he could end up with 180 just by getting a runner ball if he gets half the number of balls to be bowled. And this one could be out for a goal. And our understanding is that it was dropped. It just took to quite pick it up. And it could have been palmed over for 6. So signalled 6, and Kumble not happy.
Yes, pitched up. It's very difficult to tell here, sitting down right under this stand here. But again, you see, he just hit the top of his fingers like a goalkeeper and just pushed it into the boundary.
So Joshi got up there, tended to tip it over. It was a few metres in from the edge. Going again and really trying to hit this one for 6. And it has gone. Well, this man could end up with 200 the way that he's going. Plus.
Certainly swinging across this one, but picking it up and certainly clearing the fence there. At this rate, Pakistan would probably be looking for over 300 runs if he continue in this mood.
Going again, the foot is out. It's gone, yes, it's gone. The fieldsman just watching it sail over the top of him over mid-wicket. So magnificent hitting here, throwing total caution to the wind, but finding the middle of the bat. Tremendous stuff.
3 balls, 3 sixes again, getting up under the ball, picking it up very sweetly and clearing the fence again. Lovely hit. 3 balls, 3 sixes.
Well, 20 off the over so far, ruining Kumble's figures. Got to get it in the block hole, he didn't. It was a big full toss, and he's miscued it a bit by comparison. It still goes for 4, so 24 from the over, 246, 247 for 3. For 3, that's after a change in commentary. Asif Iqbal.
First strike. 26 runs coming off Anil Kumble's last over. I doubt he's got that kind of a hammering in a long, long time.
And Saeed Anwar there, the highest score by any player in one international against India, and he's also well on course to break the highest score in a one-day international by any player against any country. I think that's helped at the moment. Viv Richards of West Indies is holding that record.
And this has been a masterful knock by Saeed Anwar. He just kept going towards the stage. When he seemed dehydrated, he asked for a runner. He seemed to be losing his concentration.
They heard that Pakistan is going to pass the 300 mark, and I think any score over 280 in a 50-over game takes a lot to score, especially when you're chasing. The batsman always under pressure.
And for 29 runs so far.
Yes, in a tall scoring game, a part-time bowler, if he can come in and chip in with 6-7 overs and keep it under 5, that is good bowling. And that's exactly what Sachin is doing at the moment.
Oh, that's brilliant batting. Again picking his spot, just walking across the stumps so that he could get the placement right on the onside.
That was brilliant, there's no doubt about it. And one really wonders if Saeed Anwar has to have a pitch hitter along with him to bat. And we saw in the first two matches, in the first two innings, when Afridi was really hitting the ball very hard and picking up those runs very quickly, Saeed was just playing the second role. And here he is. Well on course to beat the record which at present is being held by Vivian Richards, another great cricketer. But what are the runs, but they're also giving extra deliveries. And with this man in form, with 177 to his name, you really don't want to give him extra deliveries.
And he blazes at that one, and that will be Kumble on the offside. Well, another boundary to Saeed Anwar. He really has been dealing in boundaries here this evening.
And the remarkable thing about this innings is that every time he's piercing the field with beautifully timed shots, he's also finding the gaps. And very difficult to set a field to any batsman in such form.
Another no ball. And this is what India just cannot afford to do. Not only have Pakistan got 2 runs here, the Indians have to bowl another delivery.
Yeah, especially when a spinner bowling no ball, that's very annoying, and I'm sure Sachin is not happy with himself, but he has to be careful because obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Saeed Anwar in full flow, getting these extra deliveries, only helping the Pakistani cause. Gary Kirsten's 188 in the last World Cup and 5 runs short of Vivian Richards. Highest ever in one international score against England.
Well, and this knowledgeable crowd, they know it. Five shot of the highest score ever in one-day international cricket, 189 not out by Vivian Richards. Not only has a chance of breaking that record, but has a chance of becoming the first man to hit a double hundred in one-day cricket.
We have already seen in this Pepsi Independence Cup one brilliant knock of 150 plus by Jayasuriya against India in Mumbai, and this performance by Saeed Anwar certainly one of the best in one-day internationals.
In the air. And safe, going away to third man, just opening him out a bit.
The bat, they know that they have got plenty of wickets with only 4 and a bit of overs remaining. 288, which is their highest total in one international against India. They've got that, and they've still got about 3-4 overs to go, and with 7 wickets in hand, I'm sure that both these batsmen are going to throw the bat and try and get as many runs as possible.
4 runs short of the highest score in one-day cricket. Saeed Anwar, he's on strike. just slipping out of his hand. Going away to close to mid-on. Tendulkar picking up the ball. So a single to end Puruvilla's spell. 289 for 3. And that's very nicely played on the onside to become the highest scorer in one-day cricket. He knows it, and the crowd rise up to cheer him at one. Terrific innings from Saeed Anwar. 190 not out.
What a magnificent sight to see the crowd cheering him and him acknowledging. He knew it the moment he hit that ball. He knew it was going for 4 and knew that he's going to break the record of Vivian Richards. And the good thing to say is the crowd appreciating.
Great chance here for him to get a double 100. That'll take some beating. Again, very intelligently played. And he's now got another boundary here. Snatched that behind point in the air. And again found the gap.
He's got a remarkable knack of finding these gaps, and there it is. He knew it the moment he hit the 4. He knew that he has achieved a huge landmark, and Inzamam ul Haq congratulating him there, and that is a magnificent performance.
And this is gone in the air. This will be a very good catch if he takes it. Yes, he has. End of a superb innings from Saeed Anwar. Ball going away in the short fine leg.
And I think that's Saurav Ganguly who has taken that magnificent catch, and in the process has probably hurt himself. And Jadeja congratulating Saeed Anwar. That was a nice gesture, nice touch there. Jadeja going up to Saeed Anwar and congratulating him. And